Human trafficking is the illegal movement of people for the purpose of forced labor, general commercial exploitation, or sexual slavery. This being a global issue affecting several groups of the community, with it thriving in environments of vulnerability and impoverishment.
These environments need to be protected from such activities. A way to tackle and reduce human trafficking is to raise awareness of the issue. It is essential that the public has a clearer understanding of the extent to which human trafficking is occurring, as this would garner the necessary support to take action in the form of increasing funding, as discussed in the next paragraph. Jaggers notes that only a very limited number of victims are identified and recorded by authorities. This is due to the fact one advantage of raising awareness is that it is not difficult to implement while being very cost efficient. Another advantage of raising awareness is that it is guaranteed to be productive and bring out beneficial results. A disadvantage of human trafficking is that it does not crack down on the traffickers themselves. A simple campaign billboard in public areas or a short internet advertisement will be sufficient to be educational. Flyers and pamphlets distributed in countries with high There are three main target areas of audience for raising awareness. The first target audience is the overseas immigrants seeking work in foreign countries. This is often the first step of human trafficking, where victims are misled into what looks like legitimate employment. The second target audience is the general public who work at areas frequented by victims, such as casinos, hospitals, and hotels.
Another way to assess and eliminate human trafficking within communities is to provide more funding to governments to alter current legislation towards human trafficking and possibly encourage governments to handle the issue directly. A lack of funding towards eliminating human trafficking is a large issue due to its frequency. It is unfortunately Figure 1 illustrates what specific processes happen within the cycle of disadvantage in the human trafficking context. This highlights the need Advantages of increased funding are similar to what was stated earlier. These include community support to those affected by human trafficking. This could include counseling for individuals affected. Another advantage is protection in the form of perhaps more police patrols in the area, and/or encourage law enforcement to target human trafficking as their priority. And the final advantage is funding can be implemented through sponsorship of government officials. This could mean supporting an individual who targets human trafficking to a great extent in order to assist them in their
Once these recommendations are implemented, significant changes can be experienced for victims and potential victims of human trafficking due to increased funding and awareness. This would see money being injected into preventative measures for human trafficking, along with greater awareness and education to the general public, helping to prevent such activity from occurring. This increased funding and awareness would have a positive impact on the community, as the community would be better educated, meaning that this community would be able to identify potential threats and report to the relevant authorities. It is in the best interests of the government and community to receive this support. This being due to current legislation being dated with increased funding aiming to resolve this issue, while community groups currently lack funding and awareness. Previous laws have become outdated and no longer relevant, meaning that those committing human trafficking crimes are not being correctly or fairly prosecuted for these crimes. If government was to receive this support and funding, it would help properly fund efforts to resolve the In conclusion, to address human trafficking, it is important for corporations to implement a corporate social responsibility policy in order to improve community relations. This in turn benefits not just the community but also the business.
In order to achieve this, it is recommended